Good morning, everyone. I wanted to tell you a story. This story is about a prince, the child of a king, who one day woke up and decided that he was none other than a rooster. He decided he was a rooster, and he moved on to under the table, and that's where he continued to live his life, living like a rooster, eating from the floor. And this went on every single day, and he thought he was a rooster. The king was devastated. He didn't know what to do. What would you do if your child, the prince, decided that they were going to be a rooster? So the king put out a message to many doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists to come and speak to his son, the prince. They spoke, but to no avail. No matter what, they all were not able to change the mind of this prince. And he said, and was even more convinced, that he is a rooster. And he lived under the table, and that's how he continued to live his life. The king said that he's going to put out a massive award for anyone who is able to convince his son, the prince, to change his rooster ways and become a prince and a normal person once again. There was a wise man, and this wise man decided that he's going to go for it. He comes to the house of the king, and he says, I will talk to your son, the prince, but you have to give me time, and I'm going to move in. He moves under the table, and this king starts to act like a prince, like a rooster as well. This man moves in, and he starts to live his life under the table with the prince. And the man sits next to the prince, who considers himself a rooster, and says, hey, nice to meet you. I am a rooster too. And the man goes and he joins the prince and pretends that he too is a rooster. And they would run around all day long. Where are you going? Careful. Oh, yay. Careful. Good job. Good job. Oh, be careful for the bikers. The prince enjoys his new company, this friend, who too, as well, is a rooster. They live their rooster lives together, when one day the wise man says to the prince, you know, as roosters, I think we should be treated with a little bit more dignity and respect. We, too, as roosters, deserve the best. Why should we eat from the floor and this nasty little food? We should eat proper food. And the prince looked at him and said, you're right, as roosters we deserve better. And they started to eat regular food once again. A few days passed, and the wise man, the rooster, says to the prince rooster, you know, as roosters, I really think that we could wear normal clothing and get dressed like regular, good, fashioned people. And the prince said, you know, you're right. Roosters, we deserve the best. Eventually, the prince said, us roosters, we should have normal conversations and be sophisticated, regular people. What do you think caused the rooster to finally change its ways? Why was the wise man successful? What did he do that all of a sudden he was able to get the prince to change his ways and become a prince once again and leave his rooster days behind him? Boys and girls, let me tell you, it's very simple. The wise man knew that in order to change the prince and make him change his ways, he had to join him. He had to be like him. And once he felt his pain, once he was a rooster together with him, they were able to work up and be together. The message is very profound. It's a beautiful lesson for every single one of us. In life, we have friends, we know people. They may need a shoulder to cry on or a helping hand. If you want to have an impact on someone and you want to change their life and you want to reach out to them, make sure you feel their pain. Get down to the level, and then you'll be able to impact them in a much greater way. The Baal Shem Tov, who was a great rabbi, lived about 300 years ago. His name is Rabbi Yisrael Baal Shem Tov. He said the following: everything we see in this world, we have to learn a lesson from. Everything we hear in this world, we must learn a lesson from. And I was thinking to myself, what kind of lesson can we learn from what's happening today? The world is in a certain situation where people are affected by a virus. Everyone's taking great precautions. The virus is spreading. What lesson could we possibly learn from this? Well, I thought a nice lesson perhaps is the following. One person could have the virus and affect 50 people, which could then affect another 100 people, which eventually could affect 1,000 people. The virus is something that's very powerful. One little action, one little virus could spread and impact so many people. If this is the power of a virus, one little tiny virus, how much more so one good deed that we do, one smile that we give to another person, one shoulder that we give to a friend to lean on, one mitzvah, it could affect hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Start with one little good deed today, and that is going to affect more people than you could imagine. Boys and girls, stay safe, stay healthy. But it's at times like these when we have to distance ourselves from each other, when we can't shake a hand or give a hug to another person, when we're in different locations and different places. It's at times like these that we have to think of creative ways to become even closer with someone else. Perhaps it means taking out your phone and go through your friends. Make a list of 10 friends and maybe 5 people that you don't feel you're so close with. Take out their number and give them a call. See how they're doing. Wish them a great day. You have the time, you could get it done. Send a snap to someone, an Insta story. Reach out and be kind. You don't know how strong this impact could be. That if you reach out to one friend, they're going to say, hey, that was so nice. I'm going to reach out to another one of my friends today. And like this, instead of just staying at home and being a little bit maybe feel the quarantine, feel the fact that we're secluded, we could reach out and feel even more connected than perhaps we ever were before. So boys and girls, that is my mission for you. Reach out to someone today. Think about another person. Send them a message, give them a phone call, show that you're thinking about them, have a conversation with them. And that is my mission for you. Today's question of the day, make sure to email this back to me. The question is, if you want to change someone and have an effect on someone, what is the best way to do that? That is question number 1. If you want to change or have an impact on someone, what is the best way to help another person and change them? Question number 2. Who was the person that said that everything I see and hear in this world, I need to take a lesson from? Who was the man, who was the rabbi that said, everything I hear and see in this world, I must take a lesson from? Those are the 2 questions. Please fill them out, send me an email back. Have an amazing day. And don't forget, do another good deed.